Hello, my monstrosities. Hello once again. Today I'll bring to you a little bit of fun. I've done this previously, not this exact quiz, but previous games that I've covered on the channel. So I figured it'd be kind of fun to see which Tyranid I would be. Because as we know, I like Tyranids around here. Maybe one day I don't know, we'll see how this one goes. Anyway, found these two quizzes, thought it'd be interesting, and we could use a little whimsy right now. So let's start. Which Tyranid organism are you? Uncover your place in the Tyranid hive mind. Are you a swift and deadly lictor or a relentless carnifex? This quiz will delve into your tactical choices and personality traits to match you with the perfect Tyranid organism. When approaching a battle, what is your preferred tactical style? Direct and aggressive, overwhelming the enemy with sheer force, striking with concealment, and retreating to safety. Adapting to the situation, or sending wave after wave of relentless attacks. So I gotta make sure that I actually read the full one because and not just stop when I see my answer. Adapting to the situation using a mix of strategies. All right, I don't understand the emoji here, but hey, it's kind of fun. How do you handle decision making under pressure, using cunning and stealth to outmaneuver the opponent, rush in with overwhelming numbers and brute force, adapt quickly to changing circumstances, stay calm, and assess the situation carefully? Pretty sure that's very close to the same question. But under pressure, I'm actually not that bad under pressure. I think most people can attest to that. So usually stay calm and assess the situation. What type of combat do you excel in? Powerful psychic abilities to devastate foes, ferocious close combat where I can tear enemies apart, long range attacks with potent firepower, stealth based attacks where I remain unseen. Okay, so in a lot of games, I it's funny because I like debuffs. If it hasn't been made apparent by how much I've complained that I don't have High Fleet Gorgon, um, I guess that wasn't the most debuff to debuff. But that's kind of how I play. If that means that it's tricky, debuff extraordinaire, yeah, there goes that. If it's a tank, like I've been playing Deadlock a lot recently, and I play Victor mainly. Reminds me of Swain, if you've played League, or Mordekaiser, in the fact that my aura, I'm putting that on and doing things around me. Mainly, you take damage, I heal, you get slowed, you just don't do anything. So that's kind of how I do. So I think the closest to that would be powerful psychic abilities. In a battle, what role do you prefer to take? Disrupting enemy tactics with infiltration and sabotage, supporting allies with devastating attacks, leading and commanding the swarm, decimating enemies in direct brutal combat. Um, what role do I prefer to take? I'm not much of a support player, but I am very willing to play the tank enough. Like in Marvel Rivals, I'll play tank. I've played tank quite a bit. I played quite a lot of top lane or solo lane, depending if you're talking about League or Smite. Um, again, Victor. I played tanks, but also duelists. So I think if you can combine them to kind of like a Gwen in League, that's what I do. But with infiltration and sabotage, I'm usually not too much into that. Like I am very fond of disrupting, but I don't like playing stealth the entire time. Probably leading and commanding the most. Uh, how would you describe your personality in a stressful situation? Reactive and adaptive, calculated and strategic, aggressive and unrelenting, patient and cunning. My patience can be lacking sometimes. I am aggressive sometimes. Reactive and adaptive, calculated and strategic. It really depends in a stressful situation. Well, since I just said it depends, I'd say reactive and adaptive. What is your preferred method of achieving victory? Overwhelming the enemy with sheer numbers and brute force? Okay, we're kind of repeating. Adapting to the enemy strategy and exploiting their weaknesses. That's that shit I like. Using stealth and speed to outmaneuver and strike fear. If it happens. Psychological warfare and disrupting enemy formations. I like that too. Exploiting their weaknesses. Hmm. I think between the two. Psychological warfare and disrupting enemy formations. Adapting to the enemy's strategy and exploiting their weakness. Hmm. I will say I don't usually target a specific weakness in a thing. That's not where I'll really go. I make it so that my strength gets better as you have less of it, I guess. So I don't really go for one person's weakness too much. So I guess psychological warfare, like that's closer to me in the sense that I'll cause havoc, right? You can't say somebody's weakness is being poisoned. Like I guess it is, right? But somebody's weakness would be I don't know, not being courageous or whatever. So I'm not going to go. Okay, that's a terrible example for psychological warfare, but all this to say, like if they have a weak flank, right? Not necessarily going to go for that per se, but I will deploy toxin to make it so that now everything's a weak flank, right? Which of the following best describes your combat directive? Crush enemies with powerful, straightforward attacks. Provide supporting fire and weaken the enemy from afar. Strike with precision and retreat to safety. Lead from the front with intelligence coordination. I tend to frontline a lot in games. What is your reaction to a sudden change in battle conditions? Provide support to allies while planning the next strategy. Adapt and change tactics swiftly to maintain the upper hand. Retreat and wait for a perfect opportunity to strike again. Keep pushing forward with relentless aggression. Hmm. So here's the thing that you will see in a lot of my gameplay across games I play. I do tend to try to go help my teammates to a fault. Like, I'll know good and damn well that they've got themselves in a really bad situation, but I tend to still go to it if I can reasonably. Um, Reasonably being by the time I get there, at least one of them is still up or something, right? So I tend to do that too much. That's one of my known weaknesses for myself. Retreat and wait for a perfect opportunity. I've had to do that a little bit more with Deadlock, but that's typically not what I do. Keep pushing. I guess provide support to allies is the closest one, realistically. Choose one way to deal with an entrenched enemy position. Flank the enemy and catch them off guard. I promise I didn't read these beforehand. Uh, I promise I didn't read these beforehand. I just looked at launch a direct assault to break through defenses, infiltrate and sabotage from within, bombard from a distance to weaken defenses. Uh, what is your philosophy on teamwork? Provide support and adapt to the team's needs. Work individually, but strike with precision when necessary. Lead and coordinate to ensure everyone works as one. Overwhelm with coordinated, relentless attacks. So, if I care enough about what's going on, I tend to take the role as the IGL. But if my brain is just off, I don't care if somebody else makes the calls. But that's where I'll usually go. Pick a method for maintaining control over a chaotic battlefield. Command and coordinate the forces with strategic insight. Dominate through overwhelming power and presence. Use stealth and precision to neutralize key threats. Adapt tactics and provide support where needed. We're going with that one. How many? Okay, just a few more questions. Two more questions. How do you deal with a superior enemy force? Support allies to become a united stronger force. Use sneaky tactics and hit and run maneuvers. Overwhelm with sudden and numerous ambushes. Fight with unmatched raw power. I want to support allies again, I guess. I have been a support main at times in my life, so that's not too bad. Choose the most important asset in warfare: adaptability and strategic flexibility, strong leadership and coordination, stealth and surgical strikes, unstoppable brute strength. Adaptability and strategic flexibility. So let's see what we get before I give any feedback. Your result, strategic mastermind. You are a hive tyrant, commanding the swarm with intelligence or ferocity. You are the central node, Ayo, in the hive mind's grand strategy. And it even has a nice little GIF or GIF, depending who you are. Uh, let's see what the other options were. Okay, so strategic mastermind. Is that not also a hive tyrant? Okay. Psychic Devastator. I think that's a. I can't make out what's going on here. Is that supposed to be just warriors, a warrior and leading Hormagaunts? Living Siege Engine. That's definitely old One Eye. Artillery Beast. Okay. Stealthy Predator. Oh my gosh. Stealthy Predators. Okay. Infiltration Specialist Artillery Beast. Okay, so I kind of figured it would give us the exact name of it, but that was interesting. That was interesting. I figured it'd be like, yeah, you are a hive tyrant. You are a. I was secretly hoping for a Norn emissary. Not gonna lie. A Tyran effect. You know, I figured we would go with that route, but this was something. So that's quiz number one. Quiz number two. What Tyranid creature are you? Let's see about this one. There's 18 questions. Oh, my feedback for the first one. That was kind of repetitive. Not gonna lie, a lot of the questions said the same thing and different wording. So there we go. What Tyranid creature are you? There's a countless number of Tyranid creatures in the cold, vast space, and each and every creature is created to fulfill a purpose, to serve the hive mind, and to feed its infinite hunger. Which subspecies are you? How do you serve the Great Devourer? The fact that everything's capitalized kind of pisses me off. 18 questions, let's start. Okay, what kind of army type do you like most? Close combat, cunning and deadly, fast and aggressive, mass loss of. I'm not reading all of these. I'm not reading all these options. We're just going to give answers around here. For 18 questions, no. Uh, what kind of army type do you like most? Cunning and deadly. Psi power support and hit or miss, I guess. Really, really strong units or models. I mean, who doesn't? Something tactical, but also powerful. The all around army. Cunning and deadly. I see where that's going, though. Something tactical, but also powerful. Which party type are you? Trying to expose me on YouTube? Uh, Depends what. That is a very good question. Depends on what party. First to appear, first dance like nah. Yeah, it depends on the party, but typically I'll do a little dancing, a little drinking, a little chatting. Maybe less on the chatting, but I will dance. I am everywhere. Um, Depends on the party. Sure. What do you target? Stand a chance against a very strong army. Okay. No clue what it's asking me. Judging from the questions, what do you target to go against a very strong army? Okay. Uh, Strongest defense fly. I'd target whatever he was thinking is safe from me. Heavy weapons and weak spots depends on the army. You are lost in some dark, creepy street. Okay. You hear some suspicious noises, like someone being attacked behind you. The other direction, you could see some bright lights in the distance. What do you do? Mind my fucking business. Uh, Y'all, I'm from Chicago. You mind your fucking business. Unfortunately. Heading to the noises, I'm not afraid of them and maybe I can help. Wait, hold on. Does this assume that I'm a creature already? Like a material creature? I guess not, right? I guess not. I try to get near enough to see what's going on. If they try to attack me, I run away. Sneaking to the source of the noises. If there's something dangerous, I can still run. Man, everything is capitalized, huh? Uh, Stay in the dark to try to find my way out of here. Try to identify noises. Yeah, sure, let's go with that. I don't want to endanger myself for nothing. If it sounds like somebody being attacked, you know, hey, we gotta. I guess there can be some help there. If it sounds like Something else. In a lonely, dark place where people shouldn't be seeing things. It ain't my business. It's not my business. Imagine you are a Tyranid creature in the heat of battle. Okay, so apparently I could have imagined that last one. My bad. A heavily armored and armed squad is defending an important position. You are nearly in assault distance, but it seems suicidal to attack them right away. How do you react? Uh, First, I make sure they won't get any reinforcements while some Gants will keep them busy. Then the Gene Stealers can deal with them. Uh, oof. A heavily armored and armed squad is defending an important position. You are nearly an assault distance. I'm a Tyranid creature. Figuring out what to do. Okay. Well, what the hive mind told me, I guess. But okay, hold on. This is actually kind of hurting a little bit to decipher what the fuck. Um. Okay, hold on. Uh, you know what? Let's do the classic. Gaunts then Gene Stealer, sure. Technically, Gene Stealers would be first, but whatever. What is your favorite pastime? Chilling. That's a good one. We're going to go with chilling. Didn't have games. Do you have games? What of this abilities would you like to have? Controlling others, pretty cool. Invulnerability, invisibility, morphing, super agility, super intelligence. Let's go with that one. Super speed, super strength. If you have to make a grand entrance, how would it look like? I'm going to assume have some choir or band. It just want to appear out of nowhere. What Tyranid creature character do you like the most? Ooh, now this is hard. Okay, Death Leaper, Doom of Malantai, Old One Eye, Parasite of Mortrex, Warmlord, Tyranid Prime, Imgarl Gene Stealers. Okay, that last one just feels out of pocket. Out of see, you had like epics, and I guess not an epic, but okay. Out of them, Death Leaper is my favorite character. What other 40k army? Fun fact: I was for a time putting Death Leaper in every list. Yes, whatever it was. What other 40k army would you prefer to devour right now? So, I saw a question asked about what's the most edible 40k army, and somebody said Tyranids. Oh, I think that was. I think I know whose video that was. If you know that video, yeah. And I disagree with their answer. I think it's the orcs, cause fungus. Yes, I know not every fungus is edible, but uh, some of the Tyranids have corrosive blood, so there you go. What do you like most about Tyranids as an army? Good side powers and strong side defense, mass army, monstrous creatures, playability of reserve, strong and close combat, style, and versatility. Style. If you have a Tyranid army, what paint scheme did you use? If you don't, how would you paint the models? Okay, so I guess mine closer to Leviathan, funny enough. But no. Behemoth, Hydra, Kraken, Moloch. Own gaudy scheme. Like a yellow body with a green kit. That is crazy. Closest is Leviathan. What cooking do you like the most? Barbecue, instant meal, McDonald's, my opponents with ketchup, whatever I can find, whatever mom cooks. Why? What do you have to offer? I'm going to assume what do you have to offer. Um, so I cook. So let's scratch that one. Whatever I can find. Yeah, let's go whatever I can find. Fuck it. What cooking do I like the most though? Hmm, good question. What kind of movies do you like the most? Horror. Bam. You are out with friends. A chunky guy keep. Why the fuck? Okay, a chunky guy keeps insulting you and your friends. Everybody else is afraid of him. What do you do? I okay. I don't think I just beat him up immediately. I convinced my friends to leave. It isn't worth the trouble. That's look around if I can find somebody that could stand a chance against the guy. Nah, I could take him. Nothing. I'm not crazy, you know. Try to ignore him. He should get bored. Try to make him stop. I think they meant chunky like a beefy person, like a bulky person. Okay, I'm understanding that now. I'm just like, why? Why do we randomly? Okay, try to make him stop. If he does not listen to reason, I have to do something about it. Try to tangle him in chat. I'm sure he is as dumb as he is strong. If I get to embarrass him myself, he will leave. Okay, so I'm pretty confident in my abilities. Keeps insulting. I mean, I'm not calling the cops probably, unless. Yeah, I'm probably not the one calling the cops to be honest. Nothing. I'm not crazy. No, try to ignore him. He should get bored. I mean, try to make him stop. I guess. What is your favorite animal out of these? Bunny, cat, delphine. What the fuck? Delphine, dog, elephant, horse, spy. I guess a. I, I, I guess a spider. Sure. 17. What do you prefer? Everybody hope for your youth to success, but if you feel everybody is upset, handle anything but do nothing right. Have all you could wish for, but losing it much too early. Have nothing to give, but being more than others expect. Have only one strong point, and others are matchable. I mean, that doesn't sound too bad. Have the most potential, but no chance to outbid it. Waiting for your one and only chance while others are in control. I mean, this last one just sounds like life, no? Like, this just sounds like life. Have only one strong point, and others are matchable. I think that one just is still better, though. What do you think? Why did you do this stupid quiz? Don't know. I was trapped by the name, but now I just hate your guts. Pure boredom. Somebody lied about it and said it would be fun. The heck I know. How I wanted to be. Why did you made this stupid quiz? Hell yeah. Alright, I got a lictor. Which is funny. It's like my most hated thing. You are a ghost, a glimpse shadow. By the moment they will notice your presence, you will take your next victim and disappear before they can do anything to avoid it. As a lictor, you are the silent assassin of the swarm. You bring terror to the hearts of his prey. Hunt it, kill it, disappear, and find. So, why did we vary how to spell disappear? And neither are right. And find new prey. And did we we had prey right the other time, right? Or was that the other quiz? And nothing will stop you. Okay. What is your result compared to others? Tyranid warrior. So there's a lot of warriors out there. Just warriors. Carnifex, Lictor, Hive Tyrant, Gaunt, Zoanthrope, Gene Stealers, Venator. Okay. Quite the array there. That was something. We took quizzes. Oh yes, we did. I've taken psychic damage. Yeah, I've taken some psychic damage. This was interesting. But apparently, I'm either a Hive Tyrant or a Lictor, and I feel like there's a lot of room for interpretation. I was kind of wanted to see if they would at least match up. Is Hive Tyrant on here? I guess Hive Tyrant was a chance. So I'm a little bit more basic with a Lictor, I guess. My bad, my bad. Yeah, but I might be a strategic mastermind, apparently. So, yeah. If you like the video, like it. Got a comment for me, comment. And until next time, peace out, my monstrosities.